Working in Canada as an international student. You can work as an international student in Canada if your study permit lists a condition that says you're allowed to work on or off campus. On campus means you can work at all the buildings on your school campus. If your school has more than one campus, you may only work at the campus where you're studying in most cases. You can work at other locations if you're working as a teaching or research assistant and your work is strictly related to a research grant. You and your employer must make sure you can work off campus without a work permit before you start working. If you start working off campus but don't meet the requirements, you may have to leave Canada. You can only start working in Canada when your study program has started. You can't work before you start your studies. You must request an amendment to your study permit before you can apply to Service Canada for Social Insurance Number SIN. After you complete your study program, there are two ways you may be able to work full-time. You already applied for a work permit before your study permit expired, or you're starting a new study program. You need to meet all the requirements listed below to work full-time. If we refuse your work or study permit application, you must stop working and leave Canada. If you're starting a new study program, you can work full-time if you meet all of these requirements. You are already able to work off campus during your previous studies. You have a valid study permit, or you applied to extend your study permit before it expired. You received written confirmation from your current school that you completed your program. You received a letter of acceptance to a new full-time study program at ADLI. You'll start your new program within 150 calendar days of receiving the confirmation that you completed your previous program. Some study programs include work experience as part of their curriculum. You can apply for a co-op or intern work permit if you meet all of the following conditions. You have a valid study permit. You are required to work in order to complete your study program in Canada. You have a letter from your school that confirms all students in your program need to complete work placements to get their degree. Your co-op placement or internship totals 50% or less of your study program. You aren't eligible for a co-op work permit if you're taking one of the following: English or French as a second language ESL, FSL. General interest courses, or courses to prepare for another study program. The spouses and common law partners of some international students may be eligible for an open work permit. An open work permit lets them work for any employer in Canada. Starting April 30, 2024, your spouse or common law partner may be eligible for an open work permit if you have a valid study permit and you're studying in a master's or doctoral degree program, participating in an eligible pilot program, or studying in one of the following professional degree programs at a university: Doctor of Dental Surgery DDS, DMD, Bachelor of Law or Juris Doctor LLB, JD, BCL, Doctor of Medicine MD, Doctor of Optometry OD, Pharmacy PharmD, BS, BSc, BPHARM, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine DVM, Bachelor of Science in Nursing BSCN, BSN, BNSC, Bachelor of Education BEd, Bachelor of Engineering BEng, B, BSc. To work in Canada after you graduate, you need a work permit. Graduates of certain designated learning institutions are eligible for a post-graduation work permit PGWP. If you're not eligible for a PGWP, you may still be able to work in Canada after you graduate. The work experience you gain while working may help you qualify for permanent residence. Find out what immigration programs you can apply for, sponsor your family, and use a representative at www.canada.ca.